I think the biggest thing for me about Need2Say is that, you know, at 46, you can very easily get to a point where you think you've learned enough. And so I think I've resolved to a point in my life where I want to continue to learn. And so it's opened up a whole new world of relationships and people that I can talk to and meet with. So to me, that's one of the coolest things. But specifically, my teacher, Magdalena, is very, very flexible and extremely one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. And so I've got to meet her through that too. And she's also very patient and very, when I get through, you know, it's been a hard day and we usually meet in the evening. When I get through the class, I actually feel good about myself, and I probably didn't do that great, but she always makes me feel like I'm learning. And so I think in the flexibility that I was telling you earlier, the flexibility of her being able to work with me and meet at different times, and you know, that never gets contentious, or I never feel bad that I'm moving that. So we work together on that. So that's been really, really good. I definitely feel more comfortable. I know I certainly find myself when I'm walking a job site, you know, knowing how to say safety. There's things that I know how to say that I think right now in the stage that I'm in, I find myself wanting to say things more than I can actually get them out of my brain. But it's definitely opening me up and gaining my confidence and being able to speak with them and relate to them on a real level. So yes, I think it's actually doing that and going to continue to do that as we move forward. Well, here's the deal. The reality is that there are a lot of people that just don't know. Right. So I don't think most people are not going to work and saying, I want to ignore all of the rules. On the job sites that we're on with a lot of rules and different PPE and all of that, when you find people doing the wrong things, it's simply because they don't know. So having the ability to honestly get on a level where you can teach them and train them is what we're missing in the industry, because we have a lot of training as a company, but there are subcontractors and trade partners that they don't get that same training. And they're showing up to just try to support their family, and they're not trying to hurt anybody or hurt themselves, for sure. So the problem is that communication, or the lack thereof, keeps you from being able to make them feel like you care about them and teach them, hey, the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because if you don't, you could get hurt. But the fact that I can't communicate with them keeps me from reaching a large majority of the workforce. And so it's a very simple thing to fix, but it's not that simple to fix. So I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to just be able to tell them and explain to them, because I think automatically sometimes they feel like we're there to get onto them, and we're not. But the communication barrier brings frustration, that they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting in trouble. And we feel like, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, and why don't you understand me? And so removing that frustration will allow people to go, oh, I need to listen to that, and I understand what you're saying. Instead of their first thought being, you know, I don't understand and I'm in trouble again. So I think that's the biggest thing that this can provide that we're missing in our industry, in the construction industry.